Science field. One's a doctor and one is a nurse. I have a licentiate in moral theology. Means I'm able to teach in a seminary about moral theology. Obviously, I'm here to oppose this legislation because, as we talked about, it's about ethics, and with the embryonic stem cell, the bill is only for embryonic stem cell research. And the church is not against, I am a Catholic priest, it's not against fostering scientific inquiry. You know, it says in the bill that the United States and Maryland are fostering scientific inquiry. Well, the church also fosters it. As a matter of fact, genetics was fostered and begun by a Catholic priest, Father Gregor Mendel. Even the Big Bang Theory was proposed by a Catholic priest that Albert Einstein said this is the theory that helps us understand the beginning of the universe. So we're not opposed to research, we're not opposed to science, but what is the standard? What is the standard for research and science? Is it the science? Is it the money? Is it politics? Is it funding? No, it's the human person. We want to advance science to help us get better, to help us improve, to help us be cured of diseases. And so we have to keep that as the standard, and we can't use the human person as an object to help us cure diseases. We have to use things to help the human person. And a human person has never been anything but a human person from its first moment of conception. It has never become our beloved state flower, the black-eyed Susan. The human embryo has never become our beloved bird, our state bird, the Oriole. Of course, it has hopefully become a few of our beloved players for the Baltimore Orioles, right? You know, that's what the human embryo becomes. It is a human person. And so the church looks to science to help us understand who we are. And the church would like to help science understand who we are and what we should do with its research. Science is not static, okay? Science is not static, it's dynamic. It's always learning, it's always improving. And I'd just like to give two examples. Someone brought up DNA earlier. We can see through the DNA that we are the exact same human entity we were from that first moment of fertilization till our death. So as we are not the same person at 30 years old as we were at 10 years old at the day of our birth, we're not the same person as we are at 2 months old or at that first moment of conception. We're developing, we're changing that way, but in a way we are the same person. I've always been the same person I've been. And science has shown us that in DNA, we are that exact same person. And the only difference is development. So just like I don't look the same at 10 years old as I did at 2 years old, I've just developed. I still have that same personhood, that same human DNA. So that's one way. And so there's a scientist earlier said they can't answer when the human person starts. So what do we do about that if we can't answer it? We should err on the beginning of when science tells us the human being begins life. There have been studies about twins, identical twins. They're saying that there was this one unformed blob and it becomes two individuals. And that doesn't happen until 14 days. But now science is showing us that at 4 to 7 days, it seems that there's one individual and another breaks off. And the amazing thing is, it's the exact same DNA, but sometimes one will have the chromosome for the Down syndrome, but one won't. So it shows that there's probably one individual first and another breaks off. It's pretty amazing. And the science is getting better. It's showing us that at 4 and 7 days now. Science is getting better to show us that we are human beings from the beginning. So I'd just like to end my testimony. I was thinking when I was driving up here, I was thinking about tobacco. I was thinking about tobacco because that was a key component of our state's economy for a long, long time. A key component of our state's economy, but it's being phased out. It's being phased out. Why? Because smoking tobacco is bad for us. It's bad for the human person. I'd never heard of this. I heard just earlier there was some sort of cigarette restitution fund. Is that because of tobacco in our state? So are we going to have one day, maybe 20 years from now, as our science gets better, an embryo restitution fund, as we find out that, yes, it is a human person. That was a key component of our economy. Biotechnology has to be a key component of our economy. It must be, but it has to be ethically right. Just like we phased out tobacco, someday we may have to phase out embryonic stem cell research because of the same reason, because our science got better.
Thank you, Father. Any questions?